We are on the air.
On the air? Awesome.
It's Matt.
And Susie.
And we're Suzilla.
Yes, we are. Welcome to Suzilla. It is Thursday, 4th?
Third.
May 3rd. March 3rd. Sorry, it's 3/3/22.
Yes.
I'm not quite there yet.
Yes, we run our show live every week on Thursday early morning when we're around.
When we're available.
It's pretty. It's our second year.
We've been pretty consistent.
Yeah,
we were a little wobbly the first few year or so, but we've gotten really regular lately.
And
I blame the prune juice.
Yeah. So anyway, today we're talking about a kind of a weird topic. I had a state legislator ask me on how important was the internet to our business.
Well, that was a big question.
Yeah, it has to do. She's a Democrat.
Yeah.
And recently they passed a rather large bill to get internet access out into the rural parts of America.
As part of the infrastructure setup. Mm-hmm. Now, is it a state thing or a national thing?
That's a national thing.
Okay, so it's part of the national infrastructure.
Yeah, and the states are trying to figure out how to better do that.
Yeah, we're really luckily set up here in Washington State because we have such cheap electricity. We've got high-speed internet in a lot of spots already.
That would be Chelan County.
That's still a start.
Yes, it's not the state. I'm gonna get really clear on that. It ain't the state.
Okay.
Because Chelan County has a lot of hydroelectric energy.
Yes, we're fortunate in that regard.
One of the first things that they did they worked on installing fiber.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fiber optic cable going around our county.
Our immediate area, because I know like Lake Wenatchee and up the Aniat, there's quite a few rural places that need internet.
In the more urbanish areas where there's higher concentrations of population.
Yes.
Now, in the more rural, foresty areas, because rural in Chelan County has forests, sagebrush, and forests, and hillsides. There are some options still. There's, you've got this. I know one of our local providers has this thing called Sky-Fi. I'm not precisely sure how that works. I imagine it's satellites.
Yeah, they're working on. Actually, that's broadcast from the towers.
Okay, so
they've got like 5 towers that they've dedicated that.
So it's the concepts are there. They're just this infrastructure concept is going to hopefully increase the opportunity for everyone to get access to this. Mm-hmm. Not just locally here, Wenatchee and in Central Washington, but in Missouri and in Maine and states that maybe don't have what we have.
Well, it's not just as far as states that not having what we had, because our one of our neighboring counties, Grant County, I know there's a few politicians that poo-pooed the idea of improving internet access, particularly among kids, because of the schools.
Right. That's where we discovered, we as a nation discovered how important internet access was to kids when schools started having to be shut down because of COVID. Mm-hmm. Because they said, okay, here's your computer. Well, that's great. I have no way to log in.
Yeah, and that's some of that whole equity thing that was discussed early on. And the longer that those shutdowns ran, because ours actually was relatively, I think, about 6 weeks at all. For our shutdown was not that long.
Our school shutdown was like 18 months, dear.
No, it wasn't, because they opened up. It was before the end of
the full shutdown versus
exactly.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't realize what you were saying. Mm-hmm. So there was the full shutdown where the kids didn't even go back to school at all. And then then they went back to school remotely the following school year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Because that remote access really showed the lack of investment into our schools. Mm-hmm. And we see that sort of lack of investment also with businesses.
Yeah.
Our business would not be here without the internet.
See, I think we would be here in a different manner.
We would be in a different manner. We use a lot of exchanges when it comes to insurance.
Yes. Explain to the people what exchange is.
Exchange is just a simple place that allows you to shop multiple companies for multiple plans. Usually you're able to input your information once and shop. And we use the Health Plan Finder with Washington State for health all over the place.
Right. If you're in other states, you might, for health insurance, you might see healthcare.gov.
Yep, that's the dominant one. I think there's like 32 of those. Some of the states are starting to say, "Oh yeah, let's build our own."
And so that's actually a really good move because they can implement some rules of their own.
Well, they're bringing that infrastructure closer to their state,
and they can tailor it more to the state's needs.
So yeah, we've actually got a couple different exchanges right now because we're using one for travel insurance.
Yep. Using the one for life insurance.
And we're using one for life insurance.
Plus the one for health insurance.
And plus the one for health insurance. So yeah, we've got 3 different exchanges that we're able to, really provide a rich shopping environment.
Exactly. And that's something that would have been a lot more difficult to do without the internet. Because if this had happened, well, first off, we probably wouldn't be able to have exchanges.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Right. So let's go back in time, or imagine the internet doesn't exist. Okay. What a broker would do? They probably wouldn't be working as an independent broker with lots of affiliations and appointments. They would probably be working for one company, and if you wanted to go shop at that company, you'd go to that one company's office.
And you'd have a paper application.
And it'd be paper applications that you might, if you're lucky, get to fax in.
Yes, because the fax machine has been around since the samurai. Yeah, there's actually a period in time where the samurai could have faxed a warning to Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Not to go to the theater. So it's
yeah. I mean, the fax machine's been around that long, but the fact is that was a standard for a really long time. If you wanted something to get from here to there, you would either mail it or you would fax it.
Yeah.
And only if you fax it, only if you were fancy. Most of the time, stuff went in the mail. And these days, it's okay. So let's assume that's happening. If you want to be like Matt and I, we're independent brokers. We've got connections with all kinds of different insurance companies, and the exchanges help us do that. Without the digital exchanges, without the internet, we would have stacks of papers.
File cabinets.
We'd have a lot more file cabinets. We would have giant, probably whiteboards explaining the different policies to people. It would be very, very difficult to do comparison shopping.
Yes.
But the exchanges and the internet made it possible for there to be more options. It's not a go to the 7-Eleven and pull the handle on the Slurpee machine idea. Maybe it used to be because there weren't a lot of options because they couldn't build out a lot of options. Now, because of the internet, we can have more options. We have more a rich variety of choices, which can be overwhelming, and which is where we come in handy.
And there are other things about the internet. I mean, we've got that, but there's some basic tools that we utilize. One is, one of the things we ask everyone that comes in our door is like, how did you hear about us?
How'd you find us? Google.
And that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Most people who are not in business for themselves do not realize on how much work is involved in getting a presence out there on the internet and maintaining it.
Yeah, well, maintaining a positive presence. Because you can get slammed and that just doesn't...
Yelp.
That can get ugly really fast. Although Yelp's kind of trickery. I don't know, is Yelp still a thing?
I don't know if Yelp is a thing. It didn't really peak for our industry. I know it was
always big for restaurants.
It was never really hit our area because it was really supported with iPhones.
Yeah.
And that was kind of seen as liberal elite.
We have a little trouble with that around here.
Yeah, and that perception. So Yelp really never got big. We're seeing a little bit better with Google reviews.
But then we've been cultivating Google reviews too.
Yes, we are rapidly chasing the number one slot in our valley for insurance.
So if you want to give us a positive Google review, we'd be very grateful.
Yeah,
Suzy Health Solutions.
So that is, that's one of the top ways that people find us is our Google presence. We have had a few people Yellow Pages. And some people poo-pooed us for using the Yellow Pages, but there was other aspects to it.
Right. The Yellow Pages got smart with the internet too, because they started our local Yellow Page provider, I guess is the word for it. They not only have the print book, which is not that commonly used these days, but a lot of our older customers still come back to it.
Yeah.
They also offered us internet search cleanups.
Yes, and they put we were in 2 different Yellow Pages, and each one has got like another 50 or 60 different little websites that they make sure that we're on. So if you're starting out a new business, you're gonna, I don't, you could have a district manager or whatever say, oh, you don't need to be in the Yellow Pages. You want to contact the Yellow Pages because you want to be in that internet cleanup.
The internet cleanup is pretty groovy because what it does is it makes sure your contact information is correct. If nothing else, that way people have your name right and your phone number right.
And they can find you.
And you can find you, and that's important. And if you have all the little, subcategories clean, Google pops up faster.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not true. Another way that the internet has been incredibly valuable for us. Remember when we started off, the way we tracked our customers was with a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's almost embarrassing to say that. But yeah, we literally ran a ledger for customers.
We did. We ran a ledger. We had a spreadsheet. It was all color coded. It was actually, for as I don't know, archaic as it seemed, it was actually surprisingly efficient. We did okay with it, and then we came across a CRM, what's called a CRM system.
Well, it got
it got the job done.
It got the job done, but tracking several hundred people on a spreadsheet is incredibly difficult.
I got really good at it though, but yeah, we only did that for 2-3 years.
Somewhere in there, and then it got to the point. It's like, okay, we
need something more complex.
We need something that's a little more comprehensive in tracking people.
And easier to use. Oh my God, we need something easier to use.
And so we got what they call a client relationship management tool.
CRM.
And that is incredibly valuable because it allows us to store documents. It allows us to store phone numbers, addresses, policies,
notes. Documentation is so much easier because of this system.
If you don't have some way, simple, we can drive email blasts with it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that if your clients are important to you, you should be managing those relationships. You should have notes so that if you're out of the office and you've got, a partner watching the store, or, assistant that needs to, make calls, having those notes for customer service, incredibly valuable.
And the thing I like about the system is it's got a lot of editability. We can put in custom fields. One of the first things we did was put in, pronoun of choice.
Yes.
I just added in, okay, does this person have a special enrollment period? If so, what is it? Click. It's a little tick box. It's easy. And that's the kind of thing that's important to, actually, there's 2 of my favorite spots.
Those are 2 favorite spots.
One of my favorite spots is nickname.
Yes.
Because a lot of people go by different than what's on their driver's license. For one reason or another. They go by their middle name. They hate their first name. They go by, their name is Richard and they go by Dick. Their name is, that kind of stuff. It's a field that allows us to put the name that people like to be called by.
Yes, because we do financial documents, we have to know their legal name.
Yes, we have to know what the government thinks their name is.
Mm-hmm.
And my other favorite is application submitted date.
Yes.
If we have to go back and yell at somebody about their health insurance application, we'll know when we send it in.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that I love.
Yeah, we use that a lot.
All the time, every application.
See, mine is because I do a lot of the, how did this person find us?
Oh yeah, the referral note too.
The referral note is mine because it shows, we get a fair amount of referrals. About a third of our business is people, referring other people to us.
A lot of direct referrals from people.
But we do get, some, Google, some Facebook.
It helps us know if we're spending our marketing dollars properly.
Yeah, or if we need to improve what we're doing in that area.
Or angle it in a different direction. It's like, okay, well, we have never had a referral based on this particular advertisement. Probably don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. One of the weirdest ones we discovered, we were doing a series for long-term care last summer.
Yes.
And I included a little video of a wizard. Because we do things and we're a little bit forward edge. Sometimes our partners and peers look at us like we're wizards. So the long-term care was really appropriate. But strangely, it was the Hispanic marketplace that responded to those.
And for some reason, the wizard was popular.
The wizard was popular among Hispanics. I can't explain it. I would not have expected it.
Something about it resonated.
Yes.
I bet you the people who pinged on it, they have no clue either.
Yeah, it was Hispanics under 30 responded really well to the wizard.
I don't know. Maybe they're all gamers.
It's hard to say, but that's another aspect is, social media.
Yeah, social media. I know people give it a bad rap and people love it or hate it, but it works for marketing.
If you hate it,
you're probably still on it.
It's not. No, I know people that are completely off.
Oh, I know too. I'm very aware of that.
You need to at least have a place where people can view what you're doing. Facebook is the big king.
It's still there, yeah.
If you're doing, a food truck, Twitter is incredibly useful.
Twitter and TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
TikTok at the time. I mean, the thing is about your flash in the pan ones. TikTok is kind of the love child of Vine, which did not last.
Yeah.
Because Vine was like 6-second videos where you did something goofy and you put it on the internet. Yeah. It failed. I mean, ultimately it burned out. I suspect
kind of like Periscope.
Yes, that's another example. I suspect TikTok will burn out too, but meanwhile, it's still fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm watching the stealing Russian tanks videos now.
I'm watching. I've got a gal out of Anacortes. Mm-hmm. She makes little videos called Hell's Bells. It's the people who man the help desks in hell.
Okay.
And all the grumpy pants people that come down, they've been sent to hell. I don't belong here, and they get to. Yes, you.
So if someone goes onto your personal Facebook page, what are they going to see?
If they see my personal Facebook page, well, they're going to see a picture of my socks.
Yeah,
because that's my.
Yeah, but what's your favorite thing to post?
I don't post a lot, but a lot of it's stuff that I've cooked.
Okay, so you
I don't post much. Yeah. I really don't. Stuff about family, travels, and I don't get deep into it usually. What if questions, hey, I just realized this kind of notes. It's very middle-aged womany. Okay. It's not very deep.
Yeah. I'm goofy into pop culture and martial arts.
Yeah, that's true.
So you see a lot of those. You'll see the food video, the Pinterest.
Matt does. He's a lot more Pinteresty than I am, which is seems kind of backwards. But yeah, he does a lot of. We do share recipes back and forth through Facebook quite a bit. Hey, this looks good. Should we make it this weekend? Kind of thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things that makes our personal life a whole lot easier. Because if we had cookbooks, we would fill. We actually purged cookbooks at one point.
Yeah.
Because we had so many.
Which reminds me, I should bake a pie out of my new pie cookbook.
Okay. So yeah, that's definitely made our personal life a whole lot easier.
And it's certainly a lot different. Because of the internet and because of the fact that tons of recipes are out there, we're experimenting with styles of foods we never would have thought about before. The chicken meatballs with the dill sauce.
Yeah, I was looking for something healthier there.
I picked that one up.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I pulled that one.
Okay. Yeah. I sent you a couple that was similar to that.
Yeah, I think that's.
I was looking for chicken meatballs.
Yeah, either way, we pinged it, and it's a yogurt dill sauce. It's really actually quite delicious.
Yeah,
especially if you like garlic and dill.
Ordering from HelloFresh is another example.
HelloFresh was a great example. That's how we found the soap.
Duke Cannon?
Duke Cannon. Actually, no, I take that back. We saw Duke Cannon first when we were shopping. We were on vacation and one of the little boutiques had it. Okay. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but then they started popping up. They started their marketing process and we started. It's like, oh, well, I remember this. And it was the tactical lip balm. I think
which first thing we saw. Finally got one in our kid's pocket.
Yes.
Because as soon as we had the tactical lip balm shown in the house, it's like, mine.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, it's one of those ones that.
By the way, if you find yourself wanting some fancy soap, actually not that fancy, but it's kind of manly. But oh my gosh, it's the big ass bricks of soap from Duke Cannon. Yeah. I like their products
with the scrubber bar.
Yeah, get yourself a tactical scrubber pouch because it's a lot easier to handle. These things are not small.
They're not small. They last. It's been the longest lasting soap in our house.
It lasts a one bar soap lasts the three of us about a month and a half.
Yeah.
And your average grocery store bar soap lasts a week.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You get serious value.
You do.
And
they smell good.
Yeah. So shopping.
Yeah. There's a great.
There's a huge one because I feel bad for our one of my favorite artists, Daniel T. Fleming, who I'm wearing your hoodie today.
Llama said knock you out.
Yes, Llama said knock you out. He's struggled with putting together a good presence for pushing out. And one of the hardest things you'll ever do is create a standalone storefront for your products.
It's tough.
It's really tough. The down and dirty answer is get your product out on Amazon or doing fulfillment there. Yeah. Etsy's another one. eBay. Back in the day it was Craigslist. I don't see that too much
Craigslist
now.
Craigslist has gone a different direction.
Yeah, Craigslist has kind of collapsed for marketplace.
Yeah.
We used to get a lot of good deals off Craigslist.
Yeah, we sold more than one thing on Craigslist.
Yeah.
But Craigslist also became a place where you can do untoward things. It's not the dark web, but it was kind of.
It was close.
It was the average Joe's dark web.
Yeah,
you could do some really shady stuff on Craigslist. They've done a good job of pulling that back, but it's still there.
Yeah, but you don't have the hey, let's meet people here.
That's a lot less.
Yeah, they got rid of the meetups, and that's where it kind of fell apart.
Yeah, it wasn't just meetups that was happening. That was the problem. It was meeting up and doing a business transaction.
Okay. Dark web. No, we have not done the dark web. No. We don't have a presence out there.
We joke about the dark web.
We joke about it constantly because
it's entertaining.
It's entertaining and the fears involved with it.
Well, I mean, it's a real thing, though. There's what it is. It's the modern. There's another one. Modern black market is your dark web.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go buy yourself some anthrax.
Yeah.
You should see the face he just made at me.
Yeah. It's because I am been the more progressive when it comes to adding stuff.
Yes.
And you've been it's horrible, it costs too much.
Yes. So it does. I am notorious for being a spendthrift.
Well, it's not being a spendthrift, it's being a chiller.
Yes, which makes our lives different. It's not a bad thing, because when Matt gets the bit in his teeth, he would spend every penny we had because he wants to make something happen. Mm-hmm. I am the chiller. I put a different perspective on it for him.
Yeah, and one of the things about the internet is you need to be looking at your tools and what you have around your place of business mm-hmm. and your house.
Exactly.
On a regular basis. Mm-hmm. It's not, one of the first things I added that was really, I added a website first, mm-hmm. and it just freaked out the people who were above me. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, that's awesome. It's like, and by year 2, I was having some of the district managers of farmers talk about try to erase me from the internet.
Yeah, they hated it because he was getting more leads than they were, and it was ticking them off.
I was getting more leads than their established agents, and that was just because I sat there and I had a good advisor advising, oh, well, this is how you do it. Mm-hmm. And I followed her instructions mm-hmm. and made it, this massive presence so that, if someone didn't come in with a game plan, they had no choice. They had no chance.
No. And we're glad to talk to you about your game plan. And we know a lot of people that also will talk to you about your game plans. Mm-hmm. We are not the only game in town.
Oh, no.
And we are not professionals at this kind of thing. We just know the tools that work for us.
Yeah, and because what worked for us, 8-9 years ago, won't necessarily work today. You've got to change up.
Yes, you've got to be paying attention to the trends and the curves and what's going to work. You can't mm-hmm. just rest as, I'm going to keep this particular thing forever and never ever change.
I'm going to keep this headshot from 20 years ago.
Yeah, that too.
That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah, so you want to regularly update. You're not driving the same car you did 20 years ago.
Probably.
I know very few people that are.
Yeah.
So you want to, and you know what? It's not worth $40,000. Mm-hmm. I've seen a few on the Facebook pages like, oh yeah, here's this 2001 F-150 and it's classic and I want $30,000 for it.
No. 3. I'll give you $3,000 for it.
So yeah, things get outdated. One of the first things I got the website.
And the internet gets outdated fast.
It gets outdated fast. Voice over internet protocol.
Yep. Took us.
We ran our phones over the internet from day one.
Yeah, that's true. We did.
I saw that was the way of trending. I didn't like the service of the traditional companies.
Yeah, it wasn't the thing for us.
So we went voice over internet protocol, and we're actually shifting away, and we're getting ready to drop that old
the original one, because it just isn't.
It doesn't keep up. It's not up to the times.
No. And we can just ship things out, and we've got a whole different setup now.
Because here's the thing. We wanted our business to be able to take text messages and send them.
And we can now.
And we can. And it's
also easier to answer it's also easier to answer remotely.
Yes.
Because this particular new system,
mm-hmm.
we've got now, I could be sitting in my living room with my iPad open mm-hmm. and answer the phone at the office.
Yeah, so imagine if you are a realtor mm-hmm. with an office and, there are a couple different ways you can do it. Our phone system actually allows us to forward numbers to our cell phones. Mm-hmm. Or, automatically end it. We have a option so that you dial in. It's like, oh yeah, I want to set an appointment. It will send you a text to our link mm-hmm. so you can immediately set an appointment.
And if you call and leave a message, I'll get a notification on my phone.
Uh-huh.
So I know if there's a message that I need to address.
So we're able to communicate faster than just the old standard pick up.
It's also really easy to change voice messages.
Yes.
I can say, hey, we're going on vacation, which we'll be doing in July, by the way.
So yeah, it's important to look at tools. And you know what? Here's the goofy thing. It was about the same price as the traditional phone lines.
Well, there you go.
And we just need internet to do it. So yeah, look at some of your tools, what you can add.
What you can subtract.
What you could subtract. You want to make it easy for customers to find you, to book appointments with you. And you want to be able to do the same with them. You want to be able to communicate easily with them.
You also... lost my train of thought. It's an investment. It's a financial investment to use these tools.
Yes.
So don't expect to run in there and pull free stuff. You got to be prepared to make a financial investment. Now, some of them are very, very reasonably priced.
Yes.
And some of them you upscale your prices and you get higher, you get more usability. There's some good base stuff out there if you're just starting out. If you're a little bit more financially stronger, then you can upgrade. There's always room.
So yeah,
and there's some really awesome people out there to help you use their tools.
So yeah, if
it's you, CJ,
if you're out there in the sticks and wondering if internet is important, it's like yes.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is.
More than you probably you probably didn't even realize it how much you're using it when you're in the sticks, but you're dependent on it just like the rest of us. I don't know if dependent's the right word.
You can see it. It's usually involved with when we get the wildfires around here for notification.
That's important.
And because we get there are times, and we'll probably see it again this summer, where the wildfires happen and you're kind of on edge on alerts. One of the things that can be done, we don't focus on property. We focus on, health and life usually because we like living insurance because it's a little bit fun. But some of the property guys are able to look and say, oh, there's a fire here. I can reach out and contact people.
Before they get shut down.
If they have problems. Like, hey, I see you're having problems out here. If you here's our claims number. If you need to file a claim, let's be safe.
Just do a touch.
And do that touch.
That's smart.
And that is service that you can't do from Texas. No. You have to be local.
Yeah. So again, support your local businesses.
Support your local businesses. And when someone says, "Oh yeah, I'm all local," and they're buying everything online, they're not
all local.
They're not all local.
Now we support we support local businesses, but we also shop online.
Yes,
there is a happy medium. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're not being hypocrites. We're also out of time.
Yes. So hey, have a great week, and look, your homework is how can you improve your business using the internet?
Now you're going to be out of town next week.
I am going to be out of town. I've got that day is Thursday, so I will be with Ambetter, kind of doing an after actions review over in Tukwila.
Right. Woohoo. So we'll probably, if we're going to do this, we'll probably talk to you on Friday.
Yep. And this is actually, it's kind of interesting because this is the first time I've met my direct contacts there.
Oh, yeah. We've never met Darren.
We've never met Darren. We've never met Kevin or is Keith? I think it's Keith.
But we've met the president of the company.
We've met the president of the company, and we did last year. We did a podcast.
We did a video chat with her, yeah.
And that's, you build relationships online, and then you finally get to meet them, and you get kind of excited.
I get to do that when I'm going to Texas in a couple of months.
Yes.
All right, wind it up, Matt.
So look at your business. See where you need improvements.
Because we always need
you always need improvements. There are always ways to improve your business. Internet is one of the fastest ways you can do it. And if you don't have good internet access, you need to be talking to your representatives because there was money out there available.
Yep, that's exactly right. All right. Talk to you later.
All right, bye.